Hey guys, today is a pretty special RV roundup because I want to personally invite you guys into our home park, Mountain Falls Luxury RV Resort in Lake Toxaway, North Carolina. We're nestled in the Blue Ridge Mountains, and it's a pretty special place. A lot of you RVers have been here before. Many of you have not. It's definitely a place you need to come check out. You don't have to own to come here. We have a lot of renters. In fact, well, usually renters end up coming here and they end up buying a lot, to be honest with you. But today I'm going to take you a little tour of the Skinner Cabin and Bar 39. Hope you guys enjoy. So I want to start the tour off with our upper lot. We were very fortunate. We were some of the original folks that actually got to buy here on the ridge at Mountain Falls. So we have two different sections of the park. The original park, where Mike and I bought back in 2012 and had an absolute amazing time. Absolutely loved it. And then the rumor came out that they were building on the ridge and that you could have a little casita. Well, okay, they turned into cabins, let's just be honest. But we decided that at first we're not gonna move. We're sticking with our original lot. And then all of a sudden, we kind of went, you know what? That ridge does look pretty darn special. And we have dogs and we can have fences up on the ridge and we can have bathrooms and bigger porches. And well, in 2016, we moved in of September and we have done nothing but absolutely enjoy it here. This is definitely probably our favorite place in the world. And I am going to kind of give you a little inside scoop inside the cabin, which is right there. But this right here is our guest lot. It's a lot that we got our hands on and just turned it into a place that our friends can enjoy. That's our friend's cabin up there. But we rent this out actually on the Mountain Falls website. It's mtn-falls.com. You can rent out. This is lot R39 if you ever are interested. This is kind of a cool view of our original lot, which is R40 here at Mountain Falls. I do all the landscaping and all the flowers. It's a hobby of mine, and Skinner's hobby is, yeah, keeping those cars and that bus really nice and clean. We're very fortunate because all of our friends, I mean, we're literally just surrounded by our friends here. This is our friend Howard Palmer's lot. We kind of joke and call this the dog park because it's a really nice big grass lot with lots of green space. Our really good friends Jimmy Walker right there. Remember Bill and Gail Davis, all you race fans, there are a couple up there. The Griffins, the place I just showed you. And we're down here almost at the end of the cul-de-sac, and you can kind of see down here, these were the original lots that sold because these were some of the best views that you could actually purchase when they decided to develop the ridge. Some beautiful cabins down there and some amazing panoramic views. But this is our lot. And like I said, I love to do my gardening. Just kind of started, so nothing's really in bloom yet. We're gonna have lots of beautiful hydrangeas popping up here pretty soon, and some foxglove and some seasonal flowers that I like to plant. Of course, we have our golf cart parking. Very critical for Mr. Mike Skinner. I told Mike I wanted a Bronco, so he bought me one. We do tow this Escalade. We're gonna do a video about how you can tow that Escalade, but the one thing that Mike loves to tow is his 1972 Chevy, which I think you guys have already seen a video of that. He equipped it where he could tow it, kind of matches the bus. You RVers, you guys know how we all like to match our tow vehicles to our buses. But right here, it's just some more examples of my landscaping. I'm pretty proud of it, so I'm going to show it off just a little bit. I usually love to have cutting flowers, so I'm going to do Gerber daisies this year in this old wine barrel. And just some pretty flowers. Like I said, right now nothing's in bloom. Well, these rhododendrons are. Aren't they pretty? We call that mountain laurel here locally. And I am a bird nerd. I love my birds, so I do have bird houses everywhere. And I love evergreen, especially up here in the mountains. Now, the front of our cabin, I wanted it to look like a cute little cottage that you would see in a fairy tale, but with a little bit of a western edge. So Mike and I's cabin is very rustic. A lot of people up here have done the new mountain modern look or more of an old country look, but Mike and I kind of went for the Western vibe, and when you get inside, you'll totally understand why we call it that. But I'm very proud of my window boxes, which I'm going to show off here. But I'm also proud of these shutters. So Mike and I actually did these shutters ourselves. Our carpenter did the wood, and I found the hardware, and Mike and I took an afternoon and kind of dressed them up. Again, kind of look like the Wild West. And I'm, like I said, look at that beautiful window box. I'm very proud of that one. So what's kind of cool is that's our view back there. But our bus faces the view when we have the windshield up. But these side windows right here, you can see all of the side views, all the panoramic views when you're in the bus. I'll have to give you a shot of that one day because it is pretty spectacular. Most people that rent here get that. Now here's our big guard dog, Clyde. He likes to sit here at the fence when I'm not with him. And this is when we do the entrance to the cabin. Let's go inside. Now, one of the things that we did when we designed our outdoor space here is it's all about your porch at Mountain Falls, especially when you get to see this view that I'm about ready to sneak and show you. So we did lots of windows and bar stools, so when we're having parties, our friends can feel like they're in a nice big porch. That right there is actually a shutter. We have a swing that we built that you'll see inside. I'll raise the shutter here in a little bit and kind of give you a sample of that. But this is just one of our little peaceful viewing areas that we created. Because look at this. Yes, the sun comes up right over there every morning. And this is our view. I have a little garden that I plant every year down here with dahlias so I can have fresh cut flowers throughout the summer and the fall. But if you can imagine hanging out here with a nice cup of coffee. I didn't get my cushions staged for you. Sorry about that. It's been raining a little bit, so they're drying out. Hummingbirds, of course, love my fuchsia. And then we've got this really unique space. We had to engineer a wall to kind of help support our little back patio up here. So we've got this engineered rock wall to make it look natural, like the landscape of, well, the mountains out here. And as you can see, as the summer and the fall progress, I've just got butterfly bushes and hydrangea bushes, and it just ends up being spectacular. In fact, I promise when everything starts to bloom, I will give you guys a really good look into that. Now, one of the things that we did that's a little different, instead of a gas fire pit like most people have on their lots, we did a cowboy cauldron. Because again, we wanted to look like the Wild West, something a little different. We've really enjoyed it. You can actually cook on that. We have never really cooked on it. We've done s'mores, of course, but that's about it. But it's a great little accent to have on the back porch here when our friends come over for a cocktail or a nice glass of wine. I know, you guys, I just keep showing you this because it's so beautiful. And also the hot tub. Every morning, baby. Coffee and bird nerding. That's our hobby. Yes, the retired NASCAR driver is a bird nerd. He names them, you guys. He honestly does name the birds. Now, this is a garden that Mike did for me. He knew that I loved planting flowers up here in the mountains. So when we were developing the lot, he said, why don't we tier Angie a cool little rock wall garden? What'd I say, Rockwell? Mike did race for Rockwell, didn't he? So we have our bird feeders. Haven't been putting them out lately, gotta be honest. The bears have been a little aggressive, so we had to take them down for a while. But these are my herb boxes. I take wine boxes and turn them into my herb boxes every year. And like I said, I'll show you the progress here soon once the flowers really start to bloom, but just kind of giving you a nice little look-see. This is Big Uggs. It's our beautifully carved Indian that overlooks the mountains every day for us. Clyde, of course, likes to be the star of the video. And of course, I told you guys about the nice little bars, the bar stools. Those windows all open up. when we're having a party or if you just want some fresh air. And it really makes it for a nice, entertaining space. All right, now as promised, we're gonna go on up to bar 39. This is probably Skinner's favorite place. Bar 39.
Ain't bad.
But here is the waterfall that Mikey built me. This was a hill that we really couldn't move or do anything with. Well, it's the mountain back there. So when we purchased the lot, we said, you know what, that would be a really cool waterfall. And a cool...
We could move the mountain.
Yeah, we couldn't move the mountain. So we moved it as much as we could. And then Mike designed this for me so I could have plants every year in the spring and the fall. I have a blast kind of creating my gardens. This year I'm doing a succulent garden with begonias. And we did not do a pool. You can see we basically just feed it into river rocks and then it recirculates back down. The main reason why we did this, the frogs, you guys, they do it in the spring and they make so much noise. And you know, the ponds get kind of dirty and funky. You're always having to clean them. This is pretty maintenance free when it comes to just keeping the leaves out, really. But we don't have to put chemicals in it. You don't have snakes living in it, and you don't have the frogs doing it and making it really loud. And then, of course, we have a little fire pit down here as well. Now, this is what's really cool. So up on this lot, there was this really cool tree right where Skinner's sitting. And unfortunately, lightning hit this tree and it came kind of crashing down. And we were kind of bummed, to be honest, because we have kept a lot of trees on our property. We love the look of the trees. It provides a lot of shade for us. Also the birds and the wildlife we enjoy. Now, a lot of people, they have taken down a lot of the trees so they kind of have that more clear view, but I don't know. I like to feel like I'm in the woods, so we did not do it. Clyde agrees. Look at that face. So what Mike did is he was up in the hot tub one morning and he went, we should turn that into a bar. And I'm like, do what? And then I'm like, oh my gosh, this would be a great bar. So it's called Bar 39. We have a lot of fun parties up here, a lot of cocktail hours and good times with friends. Basically, we went out and picked the coolest piece of granite that we could find. And it was a piece that kind of looks like a tree, to be honest with you.
The color.
Yeah, and then we put it on top of that old tree stump. Secured it somehow. I don't know how they engineered it, Skinner does, but as you can tell, it's strong. So as you can tell, the outdoor grill area, Mike is trying to clean up like we had it like really nice, but we have it protected with a little storm shutter. He eventually does want to put like some sort of awning or some sort of cover because if he's out here grilling, where are you going?
Have a cocktail with Billy.
Yeah. Pastime, get on the golf cart, go see your friends. But we created an outdoor kitchen on the side of our house. A lot of people put this stuff on their porch, but I didn't want the smoke from the grill. So we kind of put it out here and I've been really happy with it. This right here is the coolest thing since sliced bread. It's called an Evio. And let me tell you, it's amazing. It's just like a giant griddle and we have cooked a lot of good breakfasts and dinners on this sucker. You can even do a pizza on it, which I have not done yet. All right, now I'm gonna take you inside. Our version of Gunsmoke. This is the cabin. And as you can see, when we had this door made by our carpenter, you can open up the top part. Remember Mr. Ed? So a lot of our friends have a lot of fun with that in the summer. We keep the top part open. Oh, I'm sorry, come on in, Clyde. Poor Clyde. So this is basically the porch of the cabin, and it's really where we spend most of our time. Lots of fun dinners, lots of fun games take place at this table here. We kind of did like a built-in buffet in the background. And yes, I grew that foxglove and that fresh mint, just so you know. I love to put fresh cut flowers out all season. One thing I love about this area, you can grow some great flowers. Now this is probably one of my favorite things. I wanted a swing, but I didn't want just any old swing. I wanted a bed swing. We had this made. There's a website called, I think it's called frontporchswing.com or some kind of swing.com. If you Google swing beds, you can actually order the mattress with the cover and the pillows, and then I did my own like kind of like little decorator pillows. But originally, when we built this, we could not have windows right here. They had to all be these kind of storm shutters. So we would a lot of times open them up during the day and then you'd close them. So here's just a sample of when you actually get to open it. But the situation is when it was cold or rainy or really crappy outside, you felt like you were in a cave because you were in this like locked in porch without no windows. So they finally approved where we could have windows, which you can only imagine how much this just opened up. And of course, all these windows open up. They're kind of called nano doors and nano windows. Here's like the big door right there. So when it's nice out, we always do have these open with fresh breeze going through. There's also screens that we can put down if we, you know, have some bugs, but we don't get a lot of bugs here in the mountains. But as you can see, you can jump on here, take a little nap. A lot of time when the NASCAR race is going on, I'm watching it on this swing. My favorite part of this cabin, this area right here. This is kind of what we call our little gathering area with a curved sofa, 2 ottomans, because, you know, the dogs need couches too. But this fireplace. And it does have gas, but we burn logs on this fireplace. And let me tell you, we do it year round. You know, this time of the year, we really have been burning a lot of fires, but Mike had little wood pile he just stacked right there, and trust me, every time he stacks that, he lets me know how hard he works to stack the wood. But some cool stuff actually up here on the mantle, just because you guys are RVers and you like to travel around, those white vases I found in Jackson Hole during a trip out west. Mike found this gun. This was BA. I think it was when he used to race out in Phoenix, or he was out in Vegas for some sort of show for NASCAR. It's an actual old Wells Fargo stagecoach gun. Pretty spectacular, kind of a cool collector's item. And then that bear was a bear that Mike and I got on a trip to Alaska. So I usually really try to keep things that have some sort of meaning in the house. I'll give you a little tour of this angle. Now the kitchen, we decided to not do a kitchen in our heating and air living space. We decided to do the kitchen out on the porch because we knew this is where we were gonna be most of the time. Yes, it does get a little chilly sometimes if it's cold, but Mike burns me a fire. I bring a little space heater in and it's go cat go. We really haven't had to. We've actually been here in the winter and it wasn't too bad. We did screw up. We could have put heated floors. Instead, I wanted to go kind of more authentic, more rustic, and so I did the stone floor. I'm gonna be honest, I wish I would have done the heated floor. It would have helped keep this space warm when it's a little chilly out. But we got a full kitchen. We had all the cabinets handmade because, like I said, we wanted everything to look kind of old, Wild West, kind of rustic. And this right here, guys. Okay, first I'm gonna back up. I found this door. It's probably only what? I'm 5'2". It's probably 4 or something in height. And I told Mike, we gotta do something with this cool door. I don't know what, but it's gotta go in the cabin somewhere. Well, let me show you what we did here. It's a wine cellar. Really fun. We've had a lot of fun decorating this wine cellar. It's still got a lot of work to be done. As you can see, we're trying to put the walls with tops of wine cases that we've collected over the years, and all of the corks that we've drank with our friends here at Mountain Falls. Got a few more to go. I think 1 or 2 more seasons we'll have this thing done. But it's a really cool feature if you don't hit your head, which I do a lot. Now here is the inside heating and air space that technically we were allowed to do in the beginning. A lot of these have gotten a lot bigger as time has kind of went on, but we decided to make it a really cozy space. I would love to have a fireplace in here, I'm not gonna lie, but we were on a budget, so I just used the little heater. But what we did decide to do is put in a dry bar, because we entertain a lot. So, place that Mike can put his cigars and our liquors and paintings. This is a painting that actually Richard Childress gifted Mike when he first started driving for him. These are all Mike's trophies up here, hunting trophies. And these are just some cool items that we've had over the years. Those are actually Bud shootout guns, NASCAR fans, that Mike won when he would get pole positions, when Bud used to give you the guns. Mike loves guitars and instruments, so we do have a lot of those hanging around here as well. This is a piece of wood that we were gifted. It's alligator juniper. You'll see a lot of it upstairs as well. And we had all these unique pieces, and so we put that on an old sewing base, machine base, and kind of turned it into like a sofa TV type table, which is kind of cool. Now up here, I'm not climbing up there, you guys, today, I'm sorry, but it's basically just a little loft that you can get to by that ladder right there. And we've got a full bed and a twin bed up there, and there's some old furniture up there that actually came out of my family's farm in Oak Hill, Ohio. Really old. These are the original signs. My family is Welsh, and that was the signs that came out, or that used to hang out front of our farmhouse in Oak Hill, Ohio, and means a lot to me. My sister got that for me one year. We did sliding barn doors because I think they're so cool. Now listen, my husband was just in the bathroom. I have no idea what it looks like. Oh, I think he tried to make it look nice. Okay, he did. So anyways, this is our bathroom. Like I said, very rustic. I mean, we've got bark on the walls, lots of wood, just some fun little pieces here and there that we used to have in our different barns and stuff. Got a nice shower in here with like a waterfall glass door. Everything's stone. I love this sink. I just thought it looked so cool, like something that came out of the Wild West a long time ago. And this is the room that I wish I could make so much bigger, but this is our laundry room. You guys, it looks terrible. It looks like this all the time. I might as well just be honest with you. I try to keep it organized and clean, but it's a laundry room, it's a storage room, it's a pantry for food, for games, for dog food, for pickleball stuff, for, I mean, we've got it cram-packed, cleaning supplies, you name it, but it's what we got with the space that we were allotted. So here's another painting, kind of a cool painting that Richard Childress gifted Mike. And the infamous hat tree with all of our hats and cowboy hats. Now, this is one thing that my husband does. Look at that. He'll put like 15 things. It's like, really? Do we need that many? Now, this is something kind of unique. It started off that no one was really supposed to do bedrooms, but everybody ended up doing bedrooms at Mountain Falls. And so I want to take you upstairs, give you a little tour of what our bedroom looks like here. I am showing you this runner because I think it's the coolest runner going up steps ever. You know, Mike and I had a deal with Justin Boots for a really long time. So we have got a pretty cool boot collection, and our friend at Charlie One Horse has always provided us with some pretty amazing hats. But this is our suite upstairs. And it has been a lifesaver. Oh, look. I knew he would have left something open. The sock drawer. Now, we don't have a full bath. We just have a little sink and a little commode, toilet room, basically. So when you're up here sleeping, you don't have to go downstairs. But this is probably the most peaceful place that I've ever owned. It's just so, the views are just so amazing. Here's some more of that wood. We kind of turned into some shelves. just some of our favorite collectible items. An old RCR belt buckle that Richard gave Mike. That was my father's pipe. Some of our favorite pictures. But as you can see, the views, you guys, the views from up here are just amazing. So this is where I work when I'm doing the radio show or I'm working on my events. This is Mike's side. This is my side. And we built this desk. We had some friends of ours. We kind of created the design and they came up here. And I mean, even carried up this old maple stump to be a base at the corner. It's just a very unique piece. I love butterflies. That was my birthday present this year, Mike got for me. Now this year I decided to move my voice studio into this little corner of the room. So nothing really fancy to look at, but this is proof that I actually do my work. I actually have a little kind of backdrop. I kind of create a little sound booth when I'm working and doing stuff. And then even complete with a nice little closet. I made it look like barn doors, or bar doors, I should say, not barn doors, but. And at night, really quiet, this is what you hear. You hear all those waterfalls. So relaxing. So I hope you guys enjoyed your tour. This definitely is home for us. We absolutely love it. And I just wanted to kind of give you a little sneak peek into our cabin, because when you say that you live in an RV resort, people go, how could you spend that much time there? Well, now you know why. This is a very unique place. We're very proud of everything that the owners, our board, the developer, our management company have done to make this, I think, the most spectacular RV resort in the United States. So you are in your bus or your motorhome, come check us out. We are a Class A resort, but there is a section called West Ridge. It's separate from Mountain Falls that you can also rent spaces and still enjoy a lot of these beautiful views in this beautiful countryside. Thanks for tuning in, you guys. Don't forget to subscribe and show us some of your cool places. I'd love to see some other people's casitas and lots that they've tricked out that they own at luxury RV resorts.